You said to remove story, so to take story out of the picture and just worry about right now, what's now. And it occurred to me when I had a question, and when you take the story away from the question, there's no question left. So
that is a finding, isn't it?
So the thing that struck me is if we already removed the story, there'd be no need to stand up and ask questions, surely. But it's not really what I wanted to discuss. But
well, I don't know about that. Maybe a question, there's more things to find out beyond the person. But the person has many questions is stored up in the person. And if you can take out the kind of story and this thing happened and then this thing happened and so on, so on, so, and really look at that. And sometimes we ask the people when they write, some people are writing a lot and a lot like that. And I said, but I can't cope with so much, what is the point? Get to the point. Then we write back. I was asking, please write these people and tell them, just go to the gist, to the kernel of what you want to say. Get to the point, because I'm not likely to read it if it's too long. And please reflect on that. And then many of them wrote back and say, actually, when we thought about it, it kind of resolved itself. When we brought it down to really what was the point, we did our own surgery on it. I didn't have to ask Muji to do anything. We kind of said, okay, but I can leave that out. And no, I don't need to say that. But that's not important. And then this never happened. Okay, right back. Thank you very much.
So what's left is when I take away the story and find that there's no question comes up, and I sit in peace, and there's just everything is peace. Everything is peaceful. Mm-hmm. But somewhere in me, I sense that I'm still a separate being. That it could go deeper, and there's a sense of separateness that's really sort of, when you remove the actual problems and all that's left is separateness, then it really hurts.
Yes. Then you must try and find out separate from what. No cynicism now. You look, where is the sense of separation come, you see? Between what and what? Separation means one thing from another, at least one from another. You see, now you are the first one. The sense of I is separate from what? Try and identify what this is. What can it be? It is a natural thing, in fact. A pull, because without this feeling of separation, the aspiration to merge, this is the yoga of life itself, you see. Something that the sense of the person out on its own is not enough. There's something that is feeling, something is lacking. And it's inside all the beings. It wants to pull, it wants to unite. Because this sense of separation, it causes a pain for many people. Isolation, something feels like I'm not. So let's get to it now then and see.
So when you asked that, it felt, when I sort of stopped listening to all that's going on up here,
yes,
it felt like just floating in some kind of ocean. And this is
floating in emotion.
In some kind of ocean.
In some ocean, yes.
That doesn't exist anywhere, just floats.
Yes.
But then, almost like there's a little window open in the back, the mind jumps in and says, "Hey, we did it! Good job."
Yeah. Okay, let me put it another way. You are witnessing also this. There's witnessing of this. First, the sense of separation, and then we spoke a little bit, and you say now there's a sense that there's some just floating in an ocean. That is also a sense, a sensation, and it's also perceived. Then this pleasant sensation, the mind jumps in and goes, "Aha, we did it." You see? That is also perceived. You see? There's no need to identify anywhere in that still. The source of the perceiving itself, be in the source of the perceiving itself. It's not an achievement. Is there anyone who can achieve that? No, you see if you can follow, and anyone else you can do it. Not, you see, because floating in the ocean is also another picture, another image formed. And we like the images. So I prefer this image, this floating in the ocean. of being. Oh, yeah, this is nice, a sensation. But because it's an image and an experience in that way, it has a beginning, it will also have ending also. And both the beginning, the duration of the experience, and the end of the experience will be seen also. By what? From where?
So then the first thought again that jumps in is, it can't be that simple, surely.
And that is also seen. The voice coming through the first floor, through the back door, through the trap door, it is also seen. You see? To whom is it speaking, you see? To whom is it speaking? Is it speaking to the pure self, the pure being? Or is it speaking to the the beingness mixed with the person, who is usually the one open for business with the mind? You see? So both are seen. Is seen. Who is it speaking to, you see? Now you must clarify your true position, you see. And you will determine what that position is. This power you have. This voice has been listened to for a very long time. Even Jesus Christ in the wilderness, after the baptism, he was led by the Spirit to be 40 days and 40 nights in the wilderness, to be tempted by the devil, no? He say. Where did the devil come from? You think he's living in the wilderness waiting for somebody to come? Where did he come from, you see? And he spoke. Where did he speak? How far? Over there? Hello, Jesus. Yeah. By the way, no. Where did he come? He speak in your mind, they speak. Says, oh, we did it. You think it's that simple? You see? And something has been listening. Who is the listener of this voice? Because this voice cannot intimidate the pure self. It can only intimidate the idea you have of who you are. Your self-image, which you must go beyond.
Right at the moment of going beyond, or feeling like I'm about to go beyond, there's a sudden snapping back, like a grabbing on.
Yeah, the feeling of going beyond, in a sense, even the feeling of going beyond is also seen from that which is already beyond. Beyond even the concept of beyond, it is simply here. So beyond, with language like this, feels like distance and a movement and a shape and so on. And these are subtle, I would put, guidances for the attention, but all of this is watched. Isn't it? All of this is watched in you. And how simple also. You can't believe how simple. This thing, now I feel I'm going closer and closer here, and you see. Let that okay. Sometimes some people tell you, yes, very good, keep coming more close. Keep coming more close. But because in this dialogue, we will have to include the mind as well, who is likely to go, oops, missed it again. Sorry, can I come back tomorrow? It will be like this. So I am not leaving any room for him now. I'm saying even this thing, ultimately I'm taking you to your ultimate place. Why? Because you are here at that place also. And this is the beautiful thing that you are discovering now. You are already here. But you have been imagining you are the journeyer on its way to here. At the moment you feel now a subtle separation. How much distance between yourself and the source now? How many meters or centimeters, millimeters? What is the gap? No distance at all, except the distance of a thought, you see. The thought of separation keep you. And the thought of union is not going to help you either. You see, if it's only thought, which you, the pure being, pure self, seeing of both thoughts are present in you, in your alreadiness. You see, this is the final hurdle that feels so difficult, because the great card from the mind says, cannot be so simple. Look how many texts, how many scriptures, how many great temples. It cannot be so simple. Come on, there must be some trick is here. Well, at least try it and expose what we are saying as also a trick. And then at least you don't have to come back here anymore then. Why right now? Right now when you're about, no, it can't be that simple. Okay, let's forget about it then. At least some common sense will say, okay, if I'm going to waste my time, it will only take a second to waste it then. To at least find out rather than listen to the speculation of my mind. It cannot be that simple. Are you following? Why would the mind bother? It can't be that simple. It's still trying to put you off the scent, throw a stone in the bush. What was that? Oh. Sorry, where were we? Oh, not here at all. On the beach, come. We'll take you somewhere else. For as clever it is, you must be equally wise. I am pointing you to what you already are from here. That the feeling that I only have this one step to make. You see? And all powers on earth is going to try and make you, if you believe in yourself as a person, to not make that step. Or to make a step when then says, I see, made a step, it's not there. So I said, no step. What is it that does not have to make any step? And throws a wobble inside the mind, thinking, no. But I have to do something. I have to do something. I says, I who? Establish your identity. Who are you who will do this step? Or will not this step also be watched by that which does not need to make any step? But the great disbelief, will it live on, you see? It will want to turn this, this is just a psychological trick, nothing really goes like that. You see? That's not what the Buddha said about it. That's not what it would argue. Do it.
There's this feeling, actually, judging just from this morning. I had this feeling, I know no stories, but last night, going to sleep, there was a lot of very deep peace, this...
Yes.
Where there's just nothing happening, or there's everything happening and nothing's really bothered about it. Over the evening, overnight, while asleep, lots of crazy dreams come and, weird visions. And I wake up and I'm squarely back in human form again, back in person, back in story.
Yeah.
And it's almost like it was something precious was snatched away while I was sleeping. Of course, I know that's a fiction, but it's the feeling.
What is precious cannot be snatched away. It can only be covered up.
Or covered up, yeah.
Yeah. What is really here and pure cannot be lost. It can only be create some distraction in your mind, and then you're looking at something else, and your attention goes there. As I use the example, my fingernail can cover the sun. A thought believed in can somehow eclipse your intuitive recognition of self. These thoughts, you see, come easy. The mind doesn't have much work to do. It just lies there and just says, "It's enough, you're okay, enough. You're okay. Next one over there. Okay, this one is okay. It's got nothing to do." We are so well trained. Sheep. That respond to a little doubt. Sometimes you say, well, my mind doesn't like this, my mind doesn't agree, my mind wants this, my mind. This is the dream, you see. Now you're here. It seems like you're at the door, turning the knob. And something is whistling. Hello, hey, come here. Come back to the place you are now. Rumi said something beautiful, no? I told you. He said, knocking at the door, it opens. I have been knocking from inside. He said like this. Knocking at the door, it opens. I have been knocking from inside. But this knocking has to be. This knocking is the life itself. Then it must open because you want it. The urge is, I must go in. Then it opens. And only when it opens you realize where you are. You imagine you're outside of yourself trying to get in. But when it opens you see, I've always been here.
Bara vara här. Bara vara här. Bara vara här. Bara vara